Yo, what's up, legends? Welcome back to another episode of Walkthrough Wednesday. This one is another special one. This is the very first Rave Room Recordings demo drop. So if you don't know what Rave Room Recordings is, it is my brand new label. Started it a few months ago now. We've had 7 releases so far, all being really sick in my honest opinion. What I'm looking for the label is big room tracks, big room energy, but with creative ideas. I think we all know that big rooms started to become a little bit stale nowadays. So what I want to do is kind of rejuvenate the genre by introducing other genres and kind of mixing it with that big room flavor, just like I've been doing with my own releases. I take inspiration from psytrance, hardstyle, trance, techno as well. So I try to combine those elements with my big room sound. And I'm really enjoying it in the studio. I'm having more fun than ever. You know, my live sets are better. I just feel happier now because I feel like I'm doing something different and unique, but also hopefully keeping my big room fans happy. So with the label, I also want to do the same thing. I want to release similar kind of music. So what I asked my patrons was, boys, send me some demos, Rave Room demos that I can check out, and I've picked some absolute bangers here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to go through these. I'm going to give you my honest feedback, in-depth feedback, and hopefully we can find some gems in here. If you want to get involved, you want to send some demos to the label, all you have to do is check the description and you will see the email and you can send your demos. I check this once a week, not guaranteed a reply because it would take ages to reply to everyone, but if you want to get a reply, join the Rave Room Patreon. You get the tracks for free. You get the wallpapers and stuff, which look absolutely sick. So we're going to jump into this. One more thing, maybe I can promote my own Patreon a little bit. If you want to join the Patreon group, the family, the team, the next mix for the September mix, the deadline for tracks for that will be the end of August. So as soon as it goes to September, I will be recording the mix. So make sure you get your demos in there and make sure you go and grab the latest sample pack as well. The Ravers sample pack. Now I'm going to stop talking, I promise. We're going to get straight into these demos. First one is by Shift and Palm. These guys, very good producers. I've been helping them out, giving them feedback for the past few months. Have really kind of upped their sound. And I think I remember this one, but we're going to check it out. And then we're going to deep dive into the track and pull it to pieces. No, we're gonna give some constructive feedback and see if it's something that will be a fit for Rave Room. So let's get straight into it. Oh, love this.
Let me see the energy.
Great melody. Okay, so the things I really like about this track, melody is great. Really cool, trancey stab melody, just like I did in Rave Is Our Religion. I think it sounds really nice, man. Great energy, great emotion as well. I think overall the production could be improved a little bit. So I love this first drop. The build-up's good as well. I think you could have some more atmosphere in this part, like a big low impact, like leave it. So what I would personally do is have this kind of, so big impact here, leave it even more silent, then the kick just comes in out of nowhere. That will do much better in a live set, because you, with this right now, you've got the vocal which kind of tells you that the drop's coming, whereas if you just left it silent, because this is quite an overused vocal as well, you've got to bear that in mind. I always tell people, if you use one bad sample in your track's bad, right? If you use a bad clap or like a bad kick, like a really overused vocal, your track becomes cheaper, and what you want is your track to sound expensive, right? So a label will hear that and instantly be like, it's not for us, because it just does have that cheap sound to it. So I would leave this as a big silence, big impact, probably for 1 bar, so this length, and then like a clap or a snare, boom, straight into the kick. I think that would work really well. I love this part, big fan. I think the acid sounds a little bit on the lower quality side, I would say. That's nice. Yeah, like this acid sound, it's not the best, but I appreciate what you're going for there. I like the techie vibes in this. This melody's nice as well. I actually think this melody has more energy and works better than in the second drop. The melody in the second drop. Breakdown, I wouldn't change, man. I'm a big fan of this breakdown. Can't really work out what the vocals are saying. Also, the track's called Bass Flow, but you've got this like speech vocal from like an old 1980s movie or something, so I don't really understand the theme. I think if you worked on the theme a little bit as well, so whatever that vocal is saying, because I can't hear it because the mix is a little bit off, so I'll bring the vocal way more in the front. Whatever the vocal's saying, I would design your theme around that, because Bass Flow is quite a generic theme. It's themes are so important. Let me tell you, themes is very important when it comes to the top labels. So just try and work out what the vocal is saying and try and build your theme around that. Love this. Feels a little bit empty though. What I did in Rave's Our Religion is I had crowd noise in there, had white noise in there, I had lots of little atmospheric stuff, because yeah, with this kind of melody you're losing a little bit of energy. You've got this like silence. I would also recommend that you increase the reverb. Try some reverses as well. Bounce out the lead, click reverse, and then make it reverse into each other. That will also help increase the energy and kind of bridge those gaps. Now the melody I do like, it is a good catchy melody. Kick and bass, the bass is quite on the simple side. It just does sound like a sub. You don't really have that crispy layer in there. Now that's completely fine as long as your lead is really unique, and the lead is not unique. It's quite a standard lead. So if you're going to do that, you need to make sure the bass is really creative. I also think the mix on the lead could be improved. Could have a little bit of a boost in the mids, I think, and it's a little bit on the grainy side, I will say. I think it could dip a little bit of the high end even, I think. I think you'll notice with most of the tracks from the bigger guys, it's less focus on the highs, more focus on the fullness of the sound and making it sound thick, whereas 2014 it was just about how high could you make the leads. Listen to Ecuador, for example, like how thin and how high the leads are compared to like Rave Is Our Religion, for example. It's a complete difference. But yeah, I think this track, it's really solid. This sound I'm not a big fan of. It just sounds like I love the idea of the switch up and the pluck. But again, I think because it's so dry as well, there's not enough reverb there that the epicness is just not quite hitting, if that makes sense. So I'll be increasing the reverb. Again, the sound's a little bit thin. I would layer this up, this pluck. Layer the pluck with a saw. It will just make it sound more full, and also up that reverb, wet reverb. I think this style is exactly what I'm looking for. Trancey elements in the break, this kind of techie first drop, and then a big room second drop. I am a bit partial to that. I do like those kind of tracks, but I just think production wise it needs to be more unique on the sound design. Now I say this to all the guys that I do sessions with. I want to help you guys. That's why I started the label, but I don't want to just release any tracks because it's not going to help your career. I only want to release the best tracks from you so that your first releases are like, oh, this guy's crazy good. That's how you make the impact. I'm not just going to release a track which is good. I want to release tracks which are great from you guys. That's why I want to push you guys to really push the boundaries with your sound design and ideas and stuff. But this kind of style is great, and I want you guys to keep sending me music. Really solid. Next we have Smoggy89. This is Steel. Nice. So again, the style is definitely the kind of thing I'm looking for, man. It's a really great combination of like techno, old school hard dance, with also that big room kind of presets, big room leads, big room sound design. So I think you've really nailed the style. Let's start with the first break. We can tell by the first break it is quite empty. Whereas if we look at the bass fill track, there's a lot of content going on there. Now I like this old school hard dance, quite simple stripped back kind of effect, but what I would have is some atmosphere in here, some extra atmosphere. I like to use the cashmere stuff that nobody touches, i.e. Robot effects, glitch effects. Have those in there in the background. Try and maybe bring the sub bass up, bring a respace up gradually, just like automate it upwards. Kick and bass I love. I think I heard this, like an older version of this track, and I was saying the kick and bass is sick. Kick, perfect. Bass as well. I think you're giving away way too much here. What I've noticed, especially from playing my first show after 18 months, is those really simple, dirty drops are the ones people love the most, as opposed to, you know, Big Room where it's just so much content as soon as the drop hits. These stripped back ones where it's like silence, then kick and bass, it's like, oh, the crowd go crazy, right? And I think that's what you need to do here, just kick and bass. I think you're giving way too much away there, bro. So I'll bring the lead in here in this section. Nice old school effect there. Try a little delay on it, maybe a ping pong delay. Something like that. That's why I did in silence, and it's a similar kind of lead to silence. Probably Rave generator, right? But I think if you add a ping pong delay, it's just going to make the sound wider as well. And I think this section you can get away with just having one of these, so just have this one or this one. I don't think you need to have this full 30-second outro thing. I think just one of them will be fine, one of those 15 seconds. Then we go into the breakdown. This is cool. Again, I would have some of that glitch effects, just some crazy atmospheric stuff in here. I love this acid as well, it's really nice. I don't know where the acid's from. If it's a preset, I would be opening up the cut off and changing the resonance and stuff, just making it move throughout. That's so important. The extra automations are the things that the top guys are doing and the guys who are just starting out don't do. So you want to pull yourself away from the guys who have just started and push yourself towards the guys who've been doing this for 10 plus years, you know. So try and play with the cut off on your presets. If you're using Serum, Spire, things like that, really open up the cut off and just create movement throughout the track. I love this little break, by the way. This is what I was saying with the shift and palm track. I'm not sure that screech is needed, to be honest. Love the this triplet drop is really cool. It has a lot of potential. Production wise, again, could be improved a little bit. Kick and bass I love the hardstyle crunch on top. The only thing is the lead just has nowhere near enough power. Let me find an example of a track which has crazy power, reverb, and all those kind of things. Okay, so check this track, the Mark 6 with the clock. This has a triplet kind of second drop, but listen to the power in this lead because of the crazy reverb and just overall thickness of the lead as well. Compared to this one, I like the old school effect of the lead. I just think you can really slam it, bro. I'll be putting Fab Filter Satin, really pushing the mids, Blood Overdrive, an overdrive plugin of some sort, Isotope Trash as well. You can get some saturation from there, and also distortion. Just really push this sound as far as it can go without it sounding distorted. I think if you really work on that aspect and the reverb as well, reverb, delay, all these things will just make the sound premium. And what you want to do is take your sounds from the pound shop, for my UK people, to like M&S. You want to really take your tracks, your sounds to the next level, because more premium sounds means you're going to sound more premium as a producer, right? So always use references as well. Fair enough, I don't expect you to go and get that kind of power, but just use what he's done in that drop, apply it to your own track. So it's reverb, delay, Fab Filter Satin, and Isotope Trash. They will really take your sound to the next level. But I really like the idea of this one, to keep me updated on it, brother, and keep sending. We jump on to Max Eris, Ozgun, and Mark Blau. Big shout out to Max Eris and Ozgun, who have released on the label before. They released Hooked with me. Sick track. The track was made, you know, pretty much all by them. They really smashed that track. Big fan of that one. And it's great to see them submitting another demo. I really want to see these guys back on the label. This time it's with Mark Blau. This is Acid. So let's check this one out.
This is acid. This is acid.
Right, this track has so much going on. It's crazy. You can really tell that this is three guys, like really good producers coming together. I hear Mark's sound with the little pluck. I hear Max and Ozgun's sound as well with the techno elements. Yeah, this one I love this track. This has so much potential, man. Let's start here. Build up's great. I think drop one, I would be personally using that acid more. So what you've got is this is acid. This is your whole theme, but we only hear acid in the breakdown a little bit. I would be doing a drop one, which is really stripped back, using those acid sounds, rather than a big room drop, because I think you'll notice from some of my tracks, for example, the one lots of people are asking for, that I got that techno ID. Drop one was more unique. Drop two was a big room drop. So I would be personally doing drop one as something more unique, and then do drop two as a big room drop, rather than doing two big room drops, because again, you don't want to make it too big room nowadays, because it's just so overdone and so overlooked. So what you want to do is keep that big room aspect, but also have something really fresh, and you've got the sounds within here to do that. What I really like is this part. Future Rave lead, techno kick. This could also work as a drop one. Use more of this. I don't think you need to chop and change with all these different sounds in drop one. Fair enough, do that in drop two, but drop one, just keep this like a sick club drop. And I think this sound set is really good. Maybe just work on that aspect more and use that as drop one. I keep me updated this, because I would love to release this one, I think, with some changes. Then, so we're happy with that. Drop one just needs to be a little bit more with that Future Rave and techno kick, maybe, or some just more stripped back. Breakdowns. The breakdown's really cool, man. Love it, man. Acid, trance, I love it. I love the elements here. Now this drop for drop two is fine, because the first drop would be more unique, so the second drop can be, you know, big room. Please the big room fans. I think the sub bass could be a little bit warmer, so a little bit more subby and rounded. I love the offbeat bass, it's really crispy. Lead's really nice as well. I'll be increasing the reverb here. You see how you have that gap? I'll be pushing the wet reverb crazy, just really exaggerated. You could even do another reverse leads, something like that. Again, just make use of all these little details. I know you guys can do that. See, this is really cool. Now this works really well. This pluck with the techno kick. Love it, man. Really cool. See, this works really well for drop 2. Yeah, man, that's all I can say about it, really. I think this is such a high quality production from you boys. Please keep me updated, send it in the DMs, let me know if you're working on it anymore, because this is what Rave Room's about, man. It's about taking lots of different sounds, creating something new with that. So then we jump on to Andy G, who is a Rave Room apprentice. He has released 3 tracks on the label already. He's released the first EP, the Acid EP, some great tracks in there, man. Been working with Andy for a while now. Very, very talented guy from Australia. He's really developed his sound into a more kind of techno big room, which is really, really popular right now. Let's see his new demo, Deeper into Trance.
Level. We're gonna hit the last phase and beat the devil.
Nice.
To the next level, we're gonna hit the last phase and beat the devil. Go hard and free your mind. Rise up, leave your thoughts behind. By trial and error, we keep on this grind. Never stop the hustle, your future will be bright. Go hard and free your mind. Rise up, we'll go deeper into trance. To the next level. Deeper into trance. Deeper into trance. We'll go deeper into trance. Twist the bass on it.
Solid production again, as always. And the thing is, right, you've got Deeper into Trance. The vocal is bordering on a little bit cheese, you know. I was trying to, you know, with the Raves of Religion one, I had to chop 2 together to make it sound less cheese. But because it says Deeper into Trance, I think you're missing a big theme opportunity here. There's not enough trance elements. I know you've tried to do trance here, but this doesn't sound like a trance lead. This sounds like a Nexus big room lead. or a big room saw. This needs to be a real trance, something like that, one of those choppy trance melodies. Try a future rave lead as well, so it's like future rave trance in this part. As we always say, premium sounds, you need to have full premium sounds in your tracks. This is not premium break saw. It works as a support to a main lead, but as like the main climax section, it needs to be like either a future rave, something with a lot of like body in mids, and a more trancey melody, adaptation of the melody, I would say. Let's go to break one. I will say I think that the hoovers are a little bit out of key. Like one semitone or something, it just feels like it's slightly out of key or out of tone. I like the bass. I think the sub could be a bit warmer. I think you could see definitely the difference between drop 2 and drop 1. There's something going on there. Maybe the sub just isn't fat enough. The kick doesn't have as much body or punch, so you're going to have to like really boost the sub to make up for that. When you've got a kick like this, which is really sharp and really full body wise, the sub can be a little bit less. You're not relying on the sub as much for that. Now this guitar thing's crazy, right? Don't hear anyone doing this, which is really good. For me, it's not my kind of thing. I'm unfortunately not a rocker, but this is really cool and unique to you. I think it's a really nice thing to add in there. The vocal does the rhythm's a bit off here. You know, the guitar, the vocal, the drums, they're not in unison. They need to really be rhythmically correct. Gonna bring your mind's level. We're gonna rise up, leave your thoughts behind. By trial and error, we keep on this grind. Never stop the hustle. I think the drums and the guitar are good, but it's just the vocal slightly off there. So I would just move that slightly, maybe just a shift to the left or something like that, and it should be good. Then we go into build up 2. We're gonna hit the land, our music to the next level. This is a really energetic drop, man. I think this has a lot of potential as well, this drop. Thing is that the mix on the plucks are too harsh. As I said, I say this 100 times a day, but less highs, focus more on the fullness of the sound. You know, boost those mids, like really get something out with the mid section, because that's going to make the sound more full. Emphasis on the highs just makes your track sound too, like this is just too sharp to listen to. Almost, it's too sharp. So what I would do is just bring the highs EQ down a little bit. I think it's just a little bit too dramatic there. The pluck itself is nice. I don't know if you've layered the epic pluck with it, but I would definitely stick the epic pluck with it if you haven't. I think you can add another pluck maybe just to beef up that sound even more. But the idea of this one's really cool. Now it sounds like a little bit over compressed as well. It's like jumping all over the place, the melody. Maybe the sidechain's a bit too much as well. It needs to be a little bit less like pumpy. I think that would work a lot as well. Would work really well, sorry. Now I like this side trance bit. Quite hard to distinguish the side trance bass though, so again, when you're mixing that, make sure you're giving the side trance bass its own kind of space within the mix and its own purpose. But yeah, solid one, man. Keep you updated on that, Andy, bro. As always, great production again. We are onto the final track. This is, oh, it's a long one. This is Teddy and WUC. Oh no, we have 2 more left. Sorry, Andrew. Almost forgot you there, bro. This is The Legend. Solid master, by the way. Look at this chunk. So this one I really like. It's funny, the track I showed before, the Mark Sixma track, this sounds very inspired by that. I think it's fair to be inspired by stuff. Just be careful that you don't use too many sounds or too many inspirations from a track, because it will just hurt you in the long run, you know, if labels detect a little bit too much. Like for example, I noticed this. That effect, also the pre-drop fill, similar to the clock, but I think the idea, this is a really high quality production. You guys obviously very, very good producers. The vibe's really cool. I don't understand the vocal, to be honest. I understand saying I'm a legend, something of hard beats, but I don't get the rest. I assume you guys recorded that yourself, right? Cool build up. I do like this effect, although it is a little bit Mark Sixma. The effect works really well. Now this drum wise great, man. I love the psytrance element. I think it's mixed really well. The vocals cool as well. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. But the I would just repeat that. That's much more catchy than yeah, you know, it's a bit but has a good potential, this one as well. It's just a little bit all over the place. I love this, and this rumble kick's great. Sounds like there's a few bum notes there, like some notes that are out. I don't know if it's like part of the ARP or something, but yeah, solid energy. You keep the energy throughout, which is fair. Then we get to drop 2. For me personally, this is way too raw. I like crispy and crunchy stuff, but this is too hardcore for me. Don't get me wrong. I like, for example, I really love like the UK hardcore sound, because it's not quite raw, you know. The raw stuff, it's just too much for me. I can't really get into it. But for example, this drop 2 is way too raw for me, but it has fucking crazy energy, right? Sorry for swearing. But it's really well produced as well. I do like it when the lead comes in. Like, I prefer that. The notes there are a bit too similar to Mark Sixma. A little bit too similar, but the vibe's cool. But yeah, if you do work on that, please keep me updated, bro, because I'm intrigued by this one. I think because you guys nailed this drop, I'm really into drop 1. It's something I would play. The rest I wouldn't play, but drop 1 I would definitely play in my sets, and I want to find tracks that I would play in my sets, because, you know, if I'm not going to support them, what's the point in signing them, right? But great work, man. It's the first demo I've heard from you guys, so keep me updated on that. Andrew Galaxy is the last one. Last but not least, this is Hypnosis.
Hypnosis is usually induced by a procedure known as a hypnotic induction, involving a series of preliminary instructions and suggestion. The use of hypnotism for therapeutic
Science lesson. We learn something new every day.
induction involving a series for therapeutic purposes is referred to as hypnotherapy.
Image produces a picture which can be zoomed into infinity. Image produces a a picture which can be zoomed into infinity, 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 infinity,
Well, I hear a lot of signature sounds in there, which I respect. I'm glad you guys are getting good use out of them. Solid production, actually. I was pleasantly surprised by this. It's too much like Rave is Our Religion for me to sign on my label. Obviously, I think you'll understand that. But I think there's a lot of positive things in here.
Gnosis is usually...
This vocal... Personally, I'm not as into those speech vocals, right? I think they're a little bit strange, right? I get it though, but I think you don't necessarily have to have these vocals in there if you're just filling space. But again, it does give you this kind of theme, which I understand.
Hypnotism.
I like that you added an extra sound to the Rave's Our Religion lead. It's got a little bit of a crisp to it, which makes it sound like unique a little bit, so I really respect that. This build-up really annoyed me. So unnecessary, man. You play that in a club, the crowd are going to go crazy at you because this sounds like the drop should come. Now, there, the drop should hit then. You don't want to do another build-up, like confuse them more. It's just unnecessary. Drop one. Good reverb on the leads. I like the switch up. I think the kick's really nice there. It's a little bit darker.
That when seen as an image produces a picture which can be zoomed into infinity.
I like the use of the Kashmir sample here and this one. Yeah, it's pretty nice. I like the energy as well.
Can be zoomed into infinity, infinity.
I don't like this infinity. I'm not a big fan of that. This is the drop I really like. Is that the We Are the Ravers lead? It's cool that you did that because this is more unique. This doesn't sound like one of my tracks, but the other one sounds like Rave's Our Religion just because there's too many of those Rave's Our Religion sounds in there. You know, I would always like the reason I give you these sounds is to help you with your production, right? Take to the next level. But I think if you use like 6 or 7 from my track, people are going to be like, oh, this is just... That's why I would not release it on my own label, because I already have Rave's Our Religion. Why would I want like a not as good version? But this part is really cool. This is more unique to you. This is not me. This sounds like you. So what I would do if I was you, work more using those kind of sounds, so that it's more your sound rather than me. Because this is honestly, I'm very impressed by this one. Production wise, I think you've done a good job, especially since this is like I've only been listening to your music for like a month ago. I think you first sent me something. So you are making big progress here. I think you just need to use more of this sound because it sounds less like me and more like you, which is what you always want to do. So yeah, man, that wraps up our little Rave Room Recordings demo drop. Almost 50 minutes now. It was a lot of fun. I'm going to do these more often, maybe once a month we can do this. If you want to get involved, join the Patreon family. You can send me demos for the label and stuff. And thank you all for watching. Let me know what you want to see in the next few weeks, because I don't actually have a track coming for a couple of weeks, well actually for a month yet. So if there's something you want to see in new series, just let me know and we will start that. So yeah, hope to see you guys next week, and thanks for watching.